Hey guys, welcome back. We got the LS Swap 69 Camaro running right here. If you guys tuned into the last video, you'll know that we got it all fired up, and I'm gonna hop onto the brakes that I've got to install. I'm gonna be doing 6th gen Camaro Brembo brakes in the front and in the rear, so I'm gonna show you guys how that's been going. So, all right. So first things first, I wanted to show you guys the difference between the two Brembo calipers. So this one right here is the 5th gen caliper, and they had this on Camaros 2010, I think, to like 2015. And right here, I've got a 5th gen Camaro. I think it's 2014. It's the exact same caliper right there. So this is a 6th gen caliper, which they have on the 2016 Camaros and up. This one comes from a 2018 Camaro. So the reason I'm showing all this is because of the brake rotors that I purchased for the Camaro. So I'm gonna go over here. So I'm gonna try and get you guys a better angle here. So this rotor here, I've currently got a 5th gen caliper bolted to it. So the diameter of the 5th gen rotors should be 14 inches in diameter. I never measured these when they came. That was my bad. So when I measure the diameter of this one, it's about 13.5 inches in diameter. So we've got a 1/4 inch loss in rotor size on this rotor for this caliper. So when I put the brake pads in, a 1/4 inch roughly of the pad is sticking above the outer surface of the rotor. So this is not the right rotor for this caliper. And that really was a bummer. So what I had to do was I had to kind of do some research and some digging around and figure out, okay, because I ordered custom wheels for the front, and I had to figure out, like, hey, if I swap these to the 6th gen calipers, are they going to fit my custom wheels up front? So I've already done one wheel, and look at that. They fit. So the 6th gen rotors and calipers clear my custom wheels from Rushford. Rushforth is his name. So he made these wheels for me, and they cleared the 5th gen calipers and the 6th gen calipers, which is actually really awesome. And these calipers came fully loaded with pads. And I don't know if you can see this I think it's a harmonic balancer on these brake pads, but they don't extend much than like 1/8 of an inch beyond the top of the caliper. Whereas the old 5th gen rotors, I'm gonna try and show you, the harmonic balancer sticks out like 1 inch past the top of that caliper. So I was gonna need to actually cut the harmonic balancer or find brake pads that don't have those to even have the 5th gens fit this wheel. But I don't know if you can see back there, my harmonic balancers, the stock ones with the Camaro, the 6th gen calipers, fit. So, fantastic. So, yeah, I was really, really happy to see that. I'm gonna be working on the other side now and get the other caliper on and get the old one off. And then I'm also gonna do the back of the car. So stay tuned and we'll be able to show you that. All right, guys. So I'm gonna be taking off this old 5th gen caliper that does not match the size of my rotor, and then putting on the nice new 6th gen Camaro Brembo caliper. These are 4-piston calipers. They're on most V8s, LS3. I've got an LS2 in here, so it should well handle the stopping power. So just gonna get this thing undone. Banjo bolt nut for my brake lines. Voila. 5th gen caliper, 4-piston, off. This is the 13.5 diameter rotor. Now off. All right, so I wanted to show you guys what kind of makes up the suspension here and where the brakes could bolt to. So these are the aluminum hubs I ordered. I got these from flynbye Performance. I had requested, because they come with like 2-inch long studs, I requested to put 3 in there, so they did that for me. So I got nice long studs in there. This is the Ride Tech spindle that comes with all the Ride Tech equipment that you get when you order their front suspension kit. And this right here, this little front bracket, also came from flynbye Performance. So there's a big spacer right up here that bolts right to the spindle, and then you have a big bolt up top that bolts here, and then these holes are where your Brembo calipers bolt to, here and here. And then at the bottom there also is a smaller spacer. It's more like just a washer right here, and then it bolts right to the upper bolt on the spindle of the two lower ones. So, and then the bottom holds the steering linkage. So yeah, so this kit came from flynbye Performance. I'm pretty happy with everything that they've given me so far. The rotors that I got came from Big Brake Upgrades. So I ordered these straight from their website, and I don't know if they specified that these were 6th gen rotors. Maybe they said they were for both 5th and 6th gen, and that's why I felt comfortable buying them, but I don't know if they specifically stated 6th gen. I don't think I would have bought 5th gen calipers, but here we are. So I really like these rotors. I've been getting them really dirty over the last year that they've been sitting on the front of the car. So when I get these ready to go, I'll clean them up, but just to make sure all the brakes fit and everything looks nice. I just want to get everything bolted together, and then I'll go ahead and give these a nice clean with some brake cleaner. So, but yeah, I just wanted to go over these components that I got. And then this right here is a brake line from, I believe it's Earl's. I don't know if you probably read it on there. Yep, Earl's brake lines. They sell a kit where it bolts right to your factory 69 Camaro brake line, and then it has the banjo fitting with a, I don't know if it's 12 millimeter, 10 millimeter. I forgot what this bolt size was, but it basically, it'll fit right to the 5th or the 6th gen Brembo calipers. So that's the same. And the mounting size, the mounting holes are the same size bolts and the same dimensions from the 5th to the 6th gen. So I didn't need to change this little mounting bracket when I upgrade from the 5th to the 6th gen Brembo calipers. It was very lucky that that worked out that way, because I could have had to get a new mounting bracket set up, but I didn't have to. So yeah, that's where everything came from. So I'm just going to go ahead and get the rotor and caliper back on. All right, just bolted the caliper on. I want to show you guys how crazy of a fit this is. You can even see the brake pad down at the bottom. See how it perfectly follows the inside edge of this rotor right here. I mean, perfect. I'm getting full contact with the pad. I want to show you guys in here. The top of the brake pads come right up to the top of the rotor. I don't know if you can see. Right there is probably the best view. But it's absolutely perfect. So yeah, look at that. Nice. 6th gen Camaro brakes for the win on this one. And then they also fit my custom wheels. So I'll go ahead and get my Earl's brake line back on, and then I'll go ahead and throw the front wheel on, and we'll be good to go. All right, brake line's back connected. Obviously, I'll need to bleed the brakes again because we changed the caliper. But I've been needing to bleed the brakes for a while now, so just gonna get the wheel on and show you guys the finished product. All right, guys, here's the finished product on those wheels. There's actually a cap that's going to cover the nut there on the spindle, but I haven't got it installed on this side yet. There's the running LS, if you remember from the last video. We just got this thing running, so we haven't got any coolant in the radiator, so we can only run it for about 30, 45 seconds. More to that will come later. Here's the other side, all buttoned up. We got the cap covering the spindle nut there and big rotor on, 6th gen. So yeah, if you guys are doing the 6th gen swap, it is possible. You will have to probably get a custom wheel or do a wheel spacer because these brakes are pretty massive. This 18-inch wheel, I did have to get custom for it. So just FYI on that for me. Now on to the rear brakes here. If you guys remember, a while back we did the Ride Tech 4-link and got that all installed. There's my dog. His name is Homer Simpson, and there he goes. So this will require this bracket here. I bought 2 different brackets for this. So this one here came from Flynbye Performance. Now, these are the exact same bolting patterns. They're the exact same for a 10-bolt setup. So now what I will say is I kind of did something a little strange. I had Quick Performance, when they welded this together, I requested a 10-bolt flange to be welded to this axle tube because I wanted a 10-bolt pattern brake bracket. Now, whether that was the smartest idea, probably not, looking back, because when Flynbye sent me this, I think this was designed for the 10-bolt diameter and not to fit over the Ford 9-inch bearing here. So this, how you doing, Homer? How you doing? You're in my video. Hang on. We're gonna get to it. Just stay right there. So this came from Big Brake Upgrades, and they were able to send me one that does. So because I was about an 1/8 inch, and the caliper didn't sit how it was supposed to, so I was at an 1/8 inch. I was off with this bracket, and maybe I could have filed the inside of this down a little and had it fit over the bearing on the Ford 9-inch axle there. But instead, I went and ordered these. And the reason I cut these, because this is how it comes. So the reason I cut this here is because, to be honest, I put the axles on, and I don't really want to pull them off. So I don't need these holes. These are for other brake kits they sell. These other holes, I don't need them. So all I need is the 10 bolt pattern up here. So I went ahead and just made a cut. As you can see, I did on this one too. I made a cut on this. That way I can just slip it over the axle and bolt it straight on and then put my brakes on. So that's what we're gonna do, and just get the rear brakes on. I don't have the rear wheels yet. Those are gonna be ordered. So, but I did wanna show you that these are the rear. These are nice and shiny because they were still left in the packaging for the last year, while the other ones up front have been through some crap with getting the engine running. So these are not the same size as the fronts. The fronts were 13.5 diameter. The rears are about 13.3, so they're a bit smaller. And one thing I'll note about the 5th gen Camaro brakes, the front wheels are 14-inch rotors, and the rear wheels are 14.3 or 14.25. So there's slightly larger rotors in the rear than they are in the fronts. I don't know why the 5th gens are like that, but they are. So on the 6th gens, which is what I have, the rotors are slightly larger in the front, 13.5, and then a 13.3 in the rear. So, yep, just wanted you guys to know that. And then I'll get this bolted together, and that'll probably be it for the rest of this video. I won't get the brake lines on today for the rear because I have to make a custom brake line. So I'll put that in another video, but yep. So stick with me. So I'm gonna get this bracket on first, and then I'll show you, this is the axle retaining clip. So this goes and holds the whole axle into the rear end. It actually sits just inside that bracket. So it'll hold, there's a little lip on this, and that's what holds the whole axle in. So that's how it's gonna kind of bolt together on the car. So for right now, I'm just bolting this together, but for these bolts, when I get them on there forever, I'm gonna put some Loctite on them because I don't want this shit falling off. Stuff falling off. All right, so this is the bracket setup, it's on. All right, so this is the bracket setup, it's all on there. I just wanted to show you guys that clip, that axle retaining clip, how it sits in there and it holds the bearing. So the axle doesn't come out. And then there's the brake mounting for the Brembo calipers right there. All right, I'm gonna finish this up. I'm gonna put this nice rotor on and then bolt the caliper on. All right, guys, you can see it all mounted up. It looks beautiful. And again, the pad comes to the very outer surface of the rotor, which is absolutely perfect. It's exactly what we want. Yeah, like it's made for it. So the reason that I mounted this in the front, because the front of the car is toward there. So the reason I mounted this in the front side of the wheel versus the back side, because I noticed on the 6th gen Camaros, they mount toward the rear. But on the, I'm sorry, on the 5th gen, if I said 6 back there. But on the 6th gen calipers, they mount them toward the front. I don't know what purpose this is, but all I know is the bleeder up here to bleed the brakes if you're going to do it in that way. But yeah, it needs to be pointing up. So I mounted this here on the front side. I think there's a plug here, and you can honestly swap these if you wanted. So you could mount this on the back side, but I don't really care. So I'm just going to mount it here and call it done. So I hope I was able to give you guys some information on some brake kits and what I did, and save you the trouble of going through any heartache like I've done on these brakes. So now that I know all the measurements, I'm probably going to end up ordering a 19-inch rim for the rear. And I know some guys can fit a 10-inch back here. I measured a 10-inch would be so freaking close. So I'm going to probably end up doing a 9.5 or a 9. So either a 19 by 9 or a 19 by 9.5 back here. So when I get those wheels in, I'll get you guys up to date. Thanks for watching, and tune in next time. So thanks. Bye-bye.